Members of Congress, my fellow Americans, for some time now we have seen regimes under us in this great country of ours. In the past century, eugenics has fell out of popularity, and the concept of human rights has stymied our ability to weed out those with undesirable traits. Naturally, we as a nation have had access to fewer and fewer options besides relying on natural selection to cull the herd. However, natural selection isn't precise, and some undesirable traits are robust enough to thrive in places we don't want them to. Now, we haven't been completely left out of options when it comes to homogenizing our citizens. We have been able to hire authoritarian officers to act as predators, killing and incarcerating deviants under the guise of self-defense and upholding the law. We have also had success in our crime department, where we trick lower IQ individuals into committing crimes to be detained and isolated. We have state compulsory educations indoctrinating our young citizens into becoming patriots, simultaneously squashing their innate sense of curiosity and morality. We have a media infrastructure with a message that doesn't need to be true, only pervasive and pacifying. Here, every citizen ends up with a vague sense of freedom that can be taken away at any time for any reason, whether it's due to fear, pride, or apathy. Our countrymen and women are molded to the point that we can deal with them any way we please, but we can do better. Those programs do their part. Every dominant nation has adopted those standards in one form or another. However, we as a nation hold one advantage other countries do not. Our country's glorious healthcare system has some of the smartest, some of the most talented, some of the most capable people in the world. Today, we have the power to bring almost anyone back from the brink of death, given the right circumstances. Our medical infrastructure is set up to cure some of the most difficult to treat cancers. Some of the most incurable diseases of the past centuries have been nearly eradicated thanks to the efforts of American doctors and nurses. Now, here, every citizen in this country may look at other systems in other parts of the world and see that they take care of their residents no matter their income or background. In other countries, people are entitled to access to affordable health care. Those countries are compromised by wilder individuals, and those nations had to release their holds on those provisions because they didn't lay down their work ahead of time like our forefathers wisely did years ago. In this country, 9%, almost 10% of our citizens don't have access to affordable health care. Almost 1 million people will be diagnosed with some form of cancer this year alone. Do the math. 10% of those with cancer people will likely get diagnosed, and without access to health care, they will likely perish. And it's only cancer. Think about all the other treatable diseases and injuries people without health insurance will pick up. No one is there to pay for them. This is not an accident. It is in our best interest to keep the system going for as long as possible. It is easier than ever for us to astroturf a social media campaign or plant an agent and sabotage a citizen's livelihood, thus virtually denying them access to life. We have also released anti-vaccination conspiracies to our public, targeting weaker-minded individuals in the hopes that their lack of vaccination will introduce preventable diseases to their offspring, killing them off before they even reach breeding age. Speaking of vaccines, we also reserve separate gene-corrupting drugs we inject into a special list of names who volunteer for a free COVID vaccination. These drugs cross the targeted individual's germline, slowly sterilizing them and introducing damaging mutations to their offspring if they successfully reproduce. As long as we keep denying this core democratic value to our degenerate populations, we will keep seeing the numbers in decline. This disparity in access to healthcare provides a broader range of control over the traits we as a nation would like to develop in our herd. We are now poised to not only cut down on our disabled and mentally ill, but also our ideologically deviant, finer mission competitors and political enemies. They are more likely to die in a shorter amount of time and move out of the way for more desirable citizens. We can do this all without having to get our hands dirty or hold anyone at fault. We can just point to our flawed system and wash our hands of it all, as if it isn't our fault, and we can only pass it off as some sort of gridlock in our flawed political system. Our geopolitical advantages lie at the margins in this modern age. Our world's access to wealth and diplomacy means that no single country can openly rule with numbers anymore. As long as the world's superpowers remain relatively equal, we will need to keep finding ways to further refine and reinforce our means of domination over our subjects, all the while being covert enough to not alert them to what we as patriots really really see them as I implore you all, from the humble janitor of your local school, all the way up to our top performing CEOs. It's not just money you will lose if we have to increase taxes to provide access to universal basic health care. It may also be your standard of letting your way of life and our supremacy on the world stage. If we can get rid of our societal issues, we can devote more towards developing a better defense system. If we can kill off our more robust individuals and free thinkers today than tomorrow, nobody will be there to challenge your livelihood. Thank you.